Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. I'm Jack, and today, as you hopefully have seen the first two parts of, I'm on the second box of Roaring Skies right now. We've just opened our first box. Unfortunately, the second part cut off just as I was about to explain, or about to go over what we got in the first box overall, but I'll do that just before I crack on to the second box. We got a Full Art Mega Gallade and a Full Art Gallade, which is really cool. A Thundurus and Dragon Rayquaza, Full Art Mega Latios, Golden Energy Switch and a Shaman, and then 5 pretty cool holos as well. But in the first two parts I sort of went through each of the cards and gave them a bit of an explanation as to what I think of them, why they're good, whether they're competitive, things like that. But in this part I'm just going to crack on with this box, and I'm just going to show off the goodies really rather than go over everything. So the video hopefully will be, well, the box will be all in one part this time, and we'll hopefully go over, we'll go through the box pretty quickly. So let's get straight onto it with a Gallade pack. The first box was really impressive, I thought. 6 EXs, a golden, 3 full arts, a golden, and the other holos. Sorry, I think is a pretty good pull rate. I haven't really seen too many boxes so far. I haven't actually spoken to Joe since he opened his boxes, so I'm not too sure what the average pull rate is. I've seen, I think, one box where someone got 5 EXs and a golden. I think it was an energy switch as well. So I don't know how maybe the goldens are a bit more common this time. Awesome, that's another Altaria. I only got one in the last box, so that's the second. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know whether they've made the goldens a little bit more common or whether I've just seen 2 good boxes. But the goldens were always catch cards. Unfortunately, as I showed in the first part of the first box, when I pulled the golden, unfortunately the top corner of it is damaged, meaning that it's not as it won't retain its value as well. But I don't think I would have sold it anyway. I think I probably will hold on to it anyway. That's a Rayquaza EX. That's awesome. So our first EX of the box, and we've got a Deoxys as well. I like Deoxys. I like Deoxys as a Pokemon anyway. But that's a Rayquaza EX. That's a good Rayquaza, in my opinion. So that's an awesome start to this first side. I don't know whether we'll get a similar box to the last one. I'm doubting it. I would imagine that was probably a diamond in the rough compared to some of the other boxes. But you never know. We've got a Reshiram in this pack, so doing pretty well so far. I'm happy to take another Reshiram for sure. So let's get that sleeved up. Reshiram is probably one of my favourite black and white Pokemon. I played, one of the first decks I ever played really competitively was Reshiram Typhlosion. These packs are really difficult to open. Yeah, one of the first decks I ever properly played was Reshiram Typhlosion. So Reshiram's got a little bit of a soft spot with me. I've always preferred it over Zekrom, personally, but you know, I get Zekrom. It's pretty cool as well, and at the time, as well as Reshiflosion, there was a Zekrom deck called ZPST, I think was its abbreviated form, which basically sort of built up a... What am I doing? Basically sort of built up a Zekrom incredibly quickly, sometimes even turn 1, which meant it could take the donk, which was a lot more difficult than nowadays, considering there were no EX Pokemon, so the highest HPs you were seeing were 140, 150. It was a pretty big number to hit, but if you could hit it turn 1, your opponent would be in a pretty bad spot, really. This was at the time where all the packs are falling down. This was at the time where you could attack turn 1. So the ZPS2 I know was a really good deck, and I know Joe loved playing that deck when the old Zekrom was around. We've got a Holo Jirachi in this pack. I'm not too sure about Jirachi. Its second attack Doom Desire I think is really cool, but I don't think it has very many practical uses in the game. I think it's just a little bit too slow. considering there's multiple effects that can lead to you're actually getting out of the active position, it's not as sort of damaging as it first sounds, guaranteeing yourself a knockout, where it's only guaranteed if they stay in the active position, which is not a difficult thing to avoid, so it's not too strong, but definitely a cool card. So we're cracking on with this box. Still only one EX unfortunately, but I'm sure they're all hiding in here somewhere. We've got ourselves a Wally. Ooh. And a Klefki and a Talonflame. I've heard that Klefki is one of the more common rares, as odd as that sounds. I know a lot of in a lot of sets, especially sets that I've experienced, there's been a rare that you seem to always get multiple copies of. I think mine for Primal Clash was Tangrowth. I have about 8 Tangrowths, just from opening one box, and about about 2.5 boxes. I have about 8 Tangrowths, so maybe I should invest in a Tangrowth deck. And that's a Mega Latios EX, so that's our second Mega Latios EX. Maybe I should try and actually build the whole deck. If we can maybe pull 1 or 2 Latios in the box as well. I'm highly doubting 2, but 1 would be cool. So let's get the Mega Latios sleeved up. I don't know whether I'm going to hold on to the Latios. It depends. Like I say, I haven't actually spoken to Joe since he opened his boxes, so I don't know whether I'll get these boxes uploaded before he gets his boxes uploaded, or whether whether he's already uploaded them, anything like that. That's a reverse holo Altaria, which is really cool, and that's the 3 that I wanted from the set. But I don't know, that's also a holo. That's a holo Zekrom as well. I didn't even notice that was holo until I put it in the light. But yeah, I don't know whether we may have more Mega Latioses than we need, and in that case I may get rid of them, I'm not sure. Basically, all I'm really looking for is Shamans and Rayquaza stuff. But the Rayquaza stuff is not all that important really. I think the Shaman is definitely the catch card of the set, and the card that everyone wants one of, well, one playset of, not one of. You definitely will be wanting more than one Shaman. Things are getting a little bit messy, so after these 2 packs I'm going to have a quick sort of tidy up just to make sure everything doesn't get out of hand. And that's a full art Winona, that's so cool. Oh, I'm so glad I got I don't often pull full art trainers. I seem to pull full art Pokemon a bit more often, and I think I prefer the full art trainers. I think they're a lot cooler. So that full art Winona is really cool, and that seems pretty good condition as well. Oh, that's amazing. I'm really happy with that. So this box again is really good. That's a pretty good card, I think. And what is there? There's the other full art of the other full art trainer of the set is Wally. So I think I'd rather Winona than Wally. I think Winona is probably more useful than Wally overall. Even though I like evolutions, but I feel with Seismitoad about, evolutions are still just a little bit too slow to be able to make a big impact on the format, at least for a while, especially, like I say, while Seismitoad's out. Whereas Winona is definitely going to be used in a lot of these colourless based decks with Rayquazas and things. So that Winona is definitely a great pull. So I'm just going to put these down here so you can see what we've got so far. Let's crack into the second half of the box. I don't know what the lighting's like. I must admit I haven't tested the lighting on this new sort of setup I've got. So hopefully you guys can see exactly what we're pulling. But if there's any issues, I'm sure with YouTube's sort of size of the videos now, they can get them into pretty good quality. So hopefully it will be all alright for you guys. Reverse Holo Cascoon, and then the Delta Plus Articuno and a couple of trainers. I think I've been really lucky with the trainers in the 2 boxes I've had so far. I seem to have got playsets of a lot of them. I'll have to go over it after opening this box. I'll have to go over sort of each individual trainer and see how many of each copy I got, just so I know whether I need to buy any of the sort of staples. But I think I don't feel like there's any trainers in the set that are going to be staple for every deck. I feel there's going to be trainers that are going to be staple for certain types of deck, like the Winona for colourless decks or the Wally for evolution decks. But I don't feel there's anything sort of crucial that is going to be in every deck. That's a reverse holo Absol, that's pretty cool. And another Articuno. Yeah, I don't feel there's anything that's sort of going to be used in every single deck. Obviously Ultra Ball will be, but Ultra Ball's been reprinted I think 7 times. I think it's up to 7 times now, with including this new reprint. So I'm not too worried about getting Ultra Balls. That's a Mega Gallade. That's another piece of the Gallade puzzle that is leading me to believe I should make Gallade at some point in the near future. I like the concept of Mega Gallade's attack, but it's just the actual approach of being able to deal damage to all of these Pokemon on the bench, to then use Unwavering Blade to get sort of really good efficiency for the energy that you've used. It's whether you can set it up before you've sort of lost the prize trade or anything like that. But I'm sure it's something I'll test, and obviously it has the support of Dimension Valley and things like that. So it's definitely one to test, I think. What have we got in here? We've got a Healing Scarf and then a Holo Beautifly. So that's the second Holo Beautifly I've got. And again, sort of an underwhelming Safeguarder, but eventually the Safeguarders will go, so you never know, we may see Beautifly in competitive decks at some point in the future, but I highly doubt it. It's interesting that they've given a Stage 2 the Safeguard ability though. I think that's pretty cool. We've got a Manectric and a Dragonite, and then another Trainer's Mail. That's pretty cool. I like Trainer's Mail. I haven't tested with it all that much, but from what I have tested with it, it's a really efficient card, and it can often get you out of some pretty dire situations that require you to sort of maybe consider Ultra Balling some other cards or things like that. Anything that may help you can... trainers are often the cards that you need to help you perform sort of combos in a turn. So Trainer's Mail giving you the potential to lead into one of those is really useful. And I think Trainer's Mail works really well with Shaman too, because you're sort of automatically getting rid of a card. That's a fourth Altaria, so I've definitely got enough Altaria now. I didn't plan on playing more than, I don't think, 2. So 4 is definitely appreciated, and we'll probably go towards someone else in Nationals or something. I don't think I'll need to keep all 4. I've got about 6 packs left, I think, by the looks of it. And we've got a Reverse Pikachu and a Victini and another 3 trainers. Steven is such an underwhelming card. For the Hoenn champion, I was hoping he was going to be sort of a bit more impressive than just search for a basic energy and a supporter, because a lot of the time you're not going to be wanting supporter for another supporter. All it's really doing is getting a basic energy, which is really unfortunate. Like I say, considering that's the good Mega Rayquaza, that's really cool. Okay, I sort of lost my train of thought there because we just pulled the Mega Rayquaza, so I'm definitely going to get that sleeved up. So I've got one of the pieces of all of the different parts of Mega Rayquaza now. I've got one Shaman, one Ray and one Mega Ray. That's really cool. I love the art on that card as well. I'm going to have to take a second just to sort of look at that. He looks so angry. He looks like he's seriously going to mess someone's day up. But yeah, I feel like for the Hoenn Hoenn champion, he's a bit underwhelming, the effect of his card, but I guess I don't know how much they take that into account when creating the cards as to their influence in the video games. I don't know. I'm not sure how it all works down at Pokemon HQ, but either way, I would have liked to see sort of a Steven card that was quite strong, but perhaps I mean, I'd love to see Ace Specs come back, to be quite honest. I'd love to have seen sort of supporter card Ace Specs. That would have been really cool. But hey ho. Like I say, I just wish Stephen was a little bit more impressive. So we've got 3 packs left. I'm pretty happy with this box again so far. Out of these 2 boxes, I've got some of the serious catch cards that I wanted. Shaman and Rayquaza's being the main. That's a full art Shaman. Okay, this box, I don't need anything else from this box. I'm very, very happy. Full art Shaman. That's. I was looking on eBay last night, and they're going for sort of £25 already. So considering I've got one, that's a £25 card right there. Wow, a little bit speechless. That's 2 Shamans. I'd love 4, but I think I'm only running 3 at the moment in my decks, just because I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get 4 by the time Nationals comes round. Considering Nationals is, I think 3 weeks away now. I don't want to rely on having 4, so I'm giving 3 a go, and it seems to be working pretty well. As a Holo Togekiss, that I really like the Togekiss's ability. Serene Grace. I think it's, if it wasn't a stage 2, it would be broken, obviously, but I think it's definitely a really interesting ability, and again, I'm sure someone will find a way of getting it to work, considering it has the Delta Evolution as well. So in the last pack, hopefully we can pull. Oh wow, these 2 boxes have been incredible. That's another EX. That's a Latios EX, and a couple of extra little bits, but that's a Latios EX. So that's really incredible. I'm so happy with these 2 boxes. They're definitely they've definitely been worth the money. Box wise. So just to go over the 2 boxes overall, let's get these trainers and stuff out of the way and clear the center stage for our EX Pokemon that we managed to pull, and the Full Art Winona as well, because she's not an EX, but she's pretty cool as well. So in the first box we got a Shaman EX, a Golden Energy Switch, a Full Art Mega Latios, a Dragon Rayquaza, a Thundurus EX, a Full Art Gallade, and a Mega Gallade, and then 5 pretty cool holos. And then the second box we got a Latios EX, another holo, a Full Art Shaman and another holo, a Mega Gallade, a Mega Rayquaza, a Rayquaza EX, a couple more holos, a Mega Latios, and a Full Art Winona. So out of 2 boxes, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 really, really good cards. That are definitely, pretty much all of them, going to be tournament legal, maybe 1 or 2. That may not be too tournament legal, sort of competitive wise, but wow. I hope these boxes have been enjoyable to watch. I don't open packs very often on the channel, but I have, as you can see here, I've still got all of the codes to open up. So I'll be opening another 70 packs online for you guys. I might even record that tonight, just so we've got a lot of opening videos for you all to enjoy. But this has been Jack from Omnipoke with 2 pretty incredible boxes that I don't know, I'm not sure there's much else I could have asked for in these boxes. So overall I'm super happy with what we got. But other than that, I've got nothing else to say. I'm a little bit speechless, so thank you very much for watching. I've been Jack from Omnipoke, and I will see you in another video.